Today, we're gonna give your Mystic Spearhand the secret juice.
The secret juice.
Tier list and ultimate skill guide linked in the description. Like and subscribe to keep the channel alive, and cause this ratio is crazy. A huge shout out to my patrons, you guys are absolute legends. More on this at the end of the video if you want to further support the channel. Welcome to Purge Evil. Thank you for stopping by. Let's get into it. Who is Mystic Spearhand? A DPS vocation with a slight focus on utility magic, the Mystic Spearhand is the Dragon Slayer incarnate, supposedly created by this guy for the specific purpose of taking down dragons, and by Dogma it does that job quite well. It actually does multiple jobs quite well, acting as not only a great DPS, but support as well, buffing allies with invulnerability shields, as well as having the utility to easily dispatch of the game's rather annoying enemies, such as phantoms and oozes, among others, and it can traverse the map and combat in ways that other vocations simply cannot. Not to mention, they can stun enemies or groups and teleport to them with their unique base skill. The Mystic Spearhand is a combo machine, and its weapon skills can be combined in a variety of ways to control the flow of combat and do so in style. There are several combinations of skills you can have in rotation, and I'll go over a couple of my favorite in the weapon skill section, but the name of the game is to keep your shield active, do some damage, regain stamina, and repeat. They utilize magic damage as well, so that alone can make them pretty handy for certain enemies. All in all, the Mystic Spearhand can be a blast to play as, especially if you like quick combat and stringing together combos in rotation. On a side note, this vocation also works extremely well in a support role, considering the invulnerability shields among others, but I won't get into that too much. Core skills. The Mystic Spearhand has only 4 core skills, so nothing too fancy going on here. Just make sure to learn them as they become available. The Bolt has 3 core skills, and if you want a more in-depth explanation of the Bolt and how to use it, it is the first skill I go over in the tier list. Link in the description. First, you have the Scattering Bolt, which stuns groups. Second, you have the Quick Fall, which teleports you to the stunned target. And third, you have the Farron Bolt, the Farron Bolt, which simply increases its range. For the 4th core skill, Winding Cut now allows you to essentially have an infinite spinning attack by repeatedly pressing the light attack button. Quite useful as it does not use stamina and can hit creatures just above you as well as in front of you. Augments. Moving on to augments, a decent portion of the Mystic Spearhand augments are extracurricular, so I won't spend too much time on those. I will, however, explain what augments are best for combat purposes. This, of course, must include augments from other vocations. You have a bit of choice in augments for the Mystic Spearhand, simply due to the fact that you dish out both physical and magical attacks, so naturally some of the mage sorcerer augments will be good as well as fighter and warrior. Generally speaking, of course, onto specific augments. First up, from Mystic Spearhand itself, really the only augment you need from here is polarity. This increases your strength during the day and magic at night. You could also run athleticism, which reduces stamina consumed while dashing, but it isn't 100% necessary. Now that's it for Mystic Spearhand. We're just gonna go down the list from there. For Archer, endurance raises maximum stamina, essential for the Mystic Spearhand. Lethality increases damage against vitals, which is honestly good for any DPS build. And avidity is an optional augment, but it's nice to have as it allows you to move around quicker if the terrain is odd, and mounting enemies is quicker as well. Not super necessary, but can be helpful. From the mage, exaltation is especially good as it increases stamina recovery speed. Not necessary if you run the Hound, but helpful nonetheless. From thief, vigor is good if you consistently mount enemies as it reduces the stamina used to do so. And verve, of course, buffs your strength, which is good for all physical DPS builds. From sorcerer, Saga City or Sega City buffs your magic, which is half of your attack, so very useful there. Magic Archer has probably my favorite augment to run as the Mystic Spearhand, as the support is just so good already with the bubbles. On top of that, running the Ascendancy augment buffs the strength and magic of pawns in your party, so not only are they invincible, but they now do more damage just from being around you. And of course, basically any build can benefit from the Warfare Zeal augment, which reduces stamina consumed when performing a weapon skill. Quite a few options, but definitely some that stand out. Skills. Welcome to the skill section where we talk about how absolutely busted the Mystic Spearhand is. And it's rather simple. Once you've max leveled and acquired Wild Fury, the ultimate, you will only ever need to use 3 skills for the entire game. Earlier than that, you could even just play a support role and use 1 skill for the entire game while your party annihilates everything. The first skill I'm talking about is, of course, Mirror Shield. You don't even need to use the Hand or curatives to keep up the Mirror Shield indefinitely. This means your party is invincible 100% of the time, and if you run with a Sorcerer and Warrior, them 2 alone will finish the game for you. That's probably not how most people will play, but I had to make a point of it because it also translates into combos. You see, the Mirror Shield lasts long enough to not only combo some attacks, but use the Ravener's Hand to regain your stamina to max, all before the shield runs out, giving you just enough time to recast the shield and loop your rotation. Now those are 2 skills, but if you add Wild Fury into the mix as your standard means of attack, you'll be doing as much DPS as possible within that time frame without having to even do anything but press the button repeatedly. This drains your stamina pretty quickly, but the Hand regains stamina even quicker. You can essentially pull off infinite combos while being infinitely invincible the entire time. Not to mention your party will be as well. Your 4th slot can really just be for fun, or if you want to get even nastier, you can slot the Moment's Charge, which lets you unleash the bolt at maximum power in almost an instant. When I want to feel like a supervillain, this is what I slot. But for the most part, I actually tend to use Humble Offering because it's just good fun, and the other 3 skills are already completely overpowered. If you wanted to just play support, which the Mystic Spearhand is fully capable of, you could combine the shield with the charge to keep enemies stunned, and even throw in another skill like Searching Storm and just hang back, or throw everybody around with Humble Offering. Stand inside of your mage's healing bubble if you use the charge, and you'll actually have a pretty good time watching your pawns go to work. It is truly something to behold when nothing can flinch your warrior and a sorcerer is in the background about to launch fireballs or a tornado. For DPS, the Mystic Spearhand is all about timing your combos, keeping yourself safe in between, and executing the rotation. It feels a lot like playing an MMO. For more information on the Mystic Spearhand weapon skills, refer to the tier list linked in the description. Gear. Gear is extremely simple in this game, and so we will make this quick. Equip the best gear you can find, weapons included. The only bit that really matters aside from that are rings and what smithing you choose. For smithing, I actually believe Vermundian smithing to be the best for this vocation, however you pronounce it, due to it being a balanced split between magic and physical buffs. The Mystic Spearhand does have some knockdown capability, but honestly just leave that up to the warrior. No need for dwarven smithing here, but some may consider an upgrade or 2 of Batali smithing as it increases physical damage, depending on your playstyle. For me, it's easily Vermundian smithing the whole way. Talking about the weapon, of course, armor does not matter because you're invincible. You might as well not even wear it. As far as rings go, stamina rings are your best friend. The Ring of Momentum increases your stamina by 150 and can be found here on the map in this side path leading from Vermund to Batal. I don't have a specific second ring to recommend, just choose what is most appropriate out of your current selection. A lot of rings favor a specific playstyle, so I will leave that up to you. I simply have the Ring of Percipience equipped, which increases magic by 30, nothing too crazy. This ring can be found in several locations. Main pawn. I'm going to start off by saying there's probably no correct main pawn for the Mystic Spearhand, as everyone will be invincible anyways. With that being said, the 2 that stand out to me the most are the Thief and Warrior. The Thief is able to match the pace of the Mystic Spearhand, while the Warrior is able to offset that speed with really good damage and poise efficiency. The warrior also keeps the aggro quite well, allowing for the Mystic Spearhand to unleash combos at will, so this will be the official main pawn of the Mystic Spearhand. I'll go over what I believe to be the most effective skills and augments, specifically when used with this vocation. With that being said, I will go a bit more in depth about warrior pawns in another video, which you will find in the description when released. First up, the main skill you're always going to want the warrior to have is, of course, Roar/Bellow, which, as you may know, taunts enemies and is pretty effective when the pawn uses it as opposed to the Arisen, like we discussed in my warrior tier list video. As stated before, this will allow you to basically have free reign to combo to your heart's content without worrying too much about defensive timing. The warrior is so durable that you can even afford to not pop the mirror shield in clean timing, as the enemies for the most part won't even care about you slicing and dicing. This, of course, allows for more DPS and more fun combos. Combine this with the Provocation Augment and the Ring of Disfavor, which both increase aggro further. Again, the warrior pawn is much more effective than the warrior Arisen at holding aggro. I forgot what the ring is called, but I'll get it in editing. Get the other ring that increases knockdown. Pretty self-explanatory for the warrior. And for the other three skills, go ahead and slot your favorites. I like to slot more single target attacks like the Heavenward Sunder or even Diluvian Strike, as this allows for the Mystic Spearhand to really get in there and have some fun without the warrior just obliterating everything with AoE attacks. The rest of your augments won't matter too much in terms of being a combo with the Mystic Spearhand, so just run the best augments you have. You can see on screen a quick list of the augments that my warrior pawn tends to stick with. Honestly, I don't even recommend running any support pawns, unless you might be having a rough time with a tough enemy. In saying that, the mage pawn is always safe to keep in your party, as they will consistently heal you and pick you up if you may run out of stamina. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and to let YouTube know that other people might enjoy it as well. I'm releasing all types of Dragon's Dogma 2 content, and I still have Baldur's Gate 3 content coming out, as well as written builds every week over on my Patreon. If you'd like to further support the cause, there is a link in the description where you can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. It really goes a long way, or you could even join as a free member, as some exclusive content is available to those members as well. There's a bunch of Baldur's Gate 3 builds over there, as well as some of my Dragon's Dogma 2 content currently being translated into written form. I also have some other cool stuff going on and planned for the future, like free merchandise, Discord servers, and this and that, but I won't take too much more of your time. If you made it to this point, I just want to say thank you for stopping by, and until next time, purge evil.
Yeah, crown in my palm, but I ain't put it on. Yeah, crown in my palm, but I ain't put it on. Yeah, crown in my palm, but I ain't put it on. Yeah, crown in my palm, but I ain't put it on. Yeah.